Matt, always disappointing to give up a 2-0 lead, but plenty of positive performances out there today.
Yeah, we were excellent today. Really were in and out of possession, worked our socks off, created numerous opportunities. Should really have been out of sight in relation to the scoreline. As much as I learnt a lot about the group and the individuals within it on Saturday, hopefully the group have learnt a little bit more in terms of just seeing the game out in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Young players make poor decisions sometimes, and certainly from back to front we just invited a little bit of pressure we didn't really need to invite in relation towards the end of the game, and it probably hurts a little bit more because we were so comfortable for the rest of the game. But as much as Saturday was a plus in the end, today will be a plus as well.
The first goal was absolutely outstanding. I think if that had been in a league competition, we'd be seeing replays of that all over. Great vision from Jake and a superb finish from Josh.
Yeah, look, he's been bright all pre-season. He's been a real positive in terms of his mindset when he's come back. He's come back in fantastic shape. You cast your mind back to 12 months when he signed him, and he had the groin niggle which lasted too long and he couldn't quite get back to sharpness and fitness, and then you're trying to do that in amongst the league campaign. He's in a really good place. I moved him into a midfield free today on the back of Harry Kite's injury. He was responsible. I can trust him in there. He's got an eye for the goal. He covers the ground really well. That's one thing I liked against a championship team, that the level of our movement today was excellent. Contrast to Saturday where we moved pretty slowly and pretty stodgy. We were very fluid and very sharp and dynamic today.
Obviously, it's a boiling hot day. It was raining for
the
first
game,
but they seem to managed quite well in the heat, which is a testament to their fitness over the pre-season.
Yeah, look, Josh Key's come off with a tightness in hamstring, so we're wary of that. But I've said to you too many times now, they're a fit bunch. I've got no qualms with the majority playing 90 minutes. Piercy's still building up his game time, but he looked better again today. He looked better for Saturday. Sam Nombe, we're always wary of what he might encounter as the season goes on, but he looked bright in his movements, and I've just mentioned Josh Key there in terms of his hamstring. Tim Diang still looking after him, so the majority have got 90 minutes under the belt, and we'll try and get another 90 minutes into the remaining ones who haven't had that 90-minute mark. But it was strange because it was raining and a bit muggy to start with and very sticky, and then after the rain went, the sun came back out and it was awfully hot. But we do expect it to be hot in the coming weeks as well, and the players are kind of used to it. They're not old men like myself who aren't in great shape. They're fit young athletes, and I've said all along that a lot of teams pay a lot of money to go abroad to train in these conditions and these temperatures, and we can do it back in the southwest.
The second goal, great delivery from Sweens and staunch header at the back post. It was quite just an aesthetically pleasing goal to watch.
I'm pleased he seemed pleased with both goals, didn't he? It was a set piece. Pleased Alex headed and hit the target, something he doesn't do often enough, so that's something he's got to add to his game. Pierce has got outstanding delivery, and somehow we've got to work the space so he delivers the ball. Our set piece play second half of the season, last season, was much improved, and a real bonus in terms of the promotion we had, and then the goals in tight games. It made such a difference, whether it was Diang, Stubbs, Diabate, Hartridge has got to contribute. We've got good enough players who can meet the ball, and that was a second moment. It's strange because we created a lot better chances than that moment in relation to the set piece. We just didn't quite have the cleanliness in front of goal.
I'll let you know if there's ever a goal I'm not pleased with. You mentioned about teams going abroad to the great facilities, but I mean, look what Bristol City have got here. It's the equivalent to what you might get in La Manga in Spain and places like that. It's a superb facility for us to play at.
It is, and they're one league above us. So that gap, that margin isn't as big as it used to be. But in terms of facilities and finance and backing and this training ground, it's another level. We only can aspire to one day get to that. We're making progress ourselves. Fantastic investment into the building work that's going on at our training ground, and it won't look like this, but I can't wait for the day where those pop-up sprinklers arrive, and it water's own pitch without the groundsman and my coaches and my assistant manager having to drag the sprinkler here, there and everywhere just to make the pitch wet and soft enough for training. But we're moving in the right direction, and the club's in a fantastic position, and one day I want some of those players to be playing and training here on a daily basis, and we've got a lot of good young players, and that's what they've got to aim to, because they're more than good enough. They've put on a good show today against a good opposition, and they've got to do it now consistently in the league campaign.
Before our game kicked off, Bristol City played Forest Green, so you've also had a chance to see Forest Green before they start the League One season. Any observations from that game that you might?
Well, it was familiar faces. Yeah. The ones we've come across. Great to see Jordan Moore-Taylor. Good to see. We like Forest Green. They're always a good team for us. A relatively local one. A good game to play for our players. Pleased they got promoted. They won't be too dissimilar to last season by the looks of things, similar to ourselves. Speaking to their head of recruitment, their director of football, they've had similar problems to ourselves. You know, there's another level within the league which we can't compete with, and they found it difficult to bring players in, and they've got a small squad similar to ourselves. So, you know, we're almost going to try and support each other through what's going to be a difficult season, but a lot of optimism on the back of today's performance and where the group are.
And finally then, next Saturday, our final pre-season friendly against Torquay. Is that a game where you really try and nail down that starting lineup for the Lincoln game?
Well, yeah, I mean, people put their hand up again today. I expected us to be without the ball more today. It actually happened that we had quite a bit of possession, so we didn't quite get those defensive pitches which we'll need, where we're just shifting and shuffling in relation to a really good team out of possession, because we controlled large parts of that game. Saturday will be bish bash bosh, exactly what we need going into the first league game of the season. Local derby, I hope there's a few fans come to support us from Exeter, and I'm sure there'll be some Torquay fans. We know what to expect from Torquay, so I want that to be as real a game of football as we can possibly create, ready for the following weekend.
Bish bash bosh. I think someone's been watching. You've been watching. Well, I think you've been watching Chaz's videos.
Chaz.
Thanks a lot, Matt.